What's up, my loves? It's your girl Diamond, and I'm back with my own new review of LAMH S Huntsville. This episode validates every single thing that I've said about Tisha. She's a child. She is permanently stuck in a child's place. Please send her to the kitty table. Give her Capri Sun, her apple slices, and her crackers or animal crackers if she's feeling fancy, and a possible applesauce. Okay? She has not grown in her mind, in her behavior since season 1. And there's nobody else to blame for it but her. And what she doesn't address and what she doesn't fully express about herself. And she blames everybody else for not going along with her delusion. And Kimmi, I see you too. You set this up for Destiny to be the target for Tisha. You're not a friend to nobody. You're just like your sister-in-law. And we'll get into that right now. Kimmi is trying to play in my face, but I'm not buying it. She's meeting up with Destiny. They're going over some documents for a client of theirs. Kimmi is happy that she has the first title company in Huntsville, a black-owned title company. That's great. She wants to brag about how she's worked with everybody else in this group except for the Fletchers. What is your point? Why is that your main concern that you haven't worked with the Fletchers? Have you wanted to work with the Fletchers? It didn't look like that to me when you guys didn't even include them in the Black Expo. Y'all completely left them out with the understanding that they didn't have anything going on or they didn't have any prominent business when they have over 30 years in business. More than you guys. Fucking miss me. And the entire time that they're talking, Kimmi wants Destiny to be more open about what Chris and Nell have going on. Like, she wants in details. And all Destiny is doing is just expressing how she's concerned about them. She's worried for them. She wants to make sure she's there for them. And Kimmi isn't hearing that. She doesn't like to hear that. She wants to discuss what really took place because the real estate realm in Huntsville is very, very small, and this is supposed to be your bread and butter. And how could you have, ruined this? Like, what did you do to ruin this? And then looking at how Nell might have acted at the winery and was wondering, do I have the ability to reach out, say I'm sorry, say what's going on? Like, do I have that ability to have that conversation with her? No, because you haven't built that kind of relationship with her. And ever since you threatened to throw her into the pool, ever since she checked you about your behavior when y'all was in St. Thomas, you have not wanted to be anywhere close into having a better relationship with Miss Nell. You've been following behind Tisha's rhetoric, remember? And why do you care so much about what they have going on? Why? It has nothing to do with you. And why are you so concerned about whether or not Chris is going to be transparent? And why are you pushing for a conversation for somebody to be honest when you didn't want to be honest and transparent about what really happened with Maurice getting a DUI? So fucking miss me, Kimmi. How Destiny is the better person to speak on the group's behalf. There's no need to. Nell had already expressed to y'all when she broke down at Lance's party when she didn't have to talk about what she got going on. What more do you want her to talk about? There's nothing else for her to talk about. She's already expressed what she got going on, and we're still seeing her go through it. Like, leave it the fuck alone. Y'all are dragging this whole Chris situation out because y'all want to have drama and y'all want to look at other people's issues and judge and criticize them. It makes y'all feel good that y'all not where they're at. Can't do it. Then Kimmi is the one who brings up Tisha and wonders about her and Destiny's relationship. Like, you guys are good, right? All Destiny said is that we have had moments in our friendship where I feel like she has friendship Tourette's. She's cool with me one minute, the next minute she's mad at me. And I don't understand where it's coming from. Kimmi knows this for a fact because Kimmi went through this herself. She said it on the reunion stage. She would not be friends with Tisha if they weren't sister-in-laws. Because she said being friends with Tisha requires too much work. It requires for me to change how I am to appease Tisha. I am not doing that. How is it that you can say all of that all those seasons ago and then look confused as to how Destiny is trying to navigate her friendship with Tisha? All she is doing is reflecting about how she moves. And then, did y'all not remember during taco night, she came at her out of nowhere about how she switched cars and assumed that was her defending Nell when it wasn't her defending Nell? Like, she never gives real context and real reasonings as to why she feels a way about somebody. Make it make sense. And then Kimmi, you're so full of shit right now for you to say that, well, let's look at how we met you. It was your tone, and that was the issue we had. No, 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 Kimmi. That's what we're not about to do. You're not about to compare the way that Destiny came around and that her tone of conversation wasn't really welcoming. That is not what's happening here. Yes, in the beginning, Destiny was aggressive, still aggressive with how she came across, but y'all have moved on from there because y'all wanted to gain access about what she knew about Mel. That's the only reason why. And remember, Kimmi, you felt a way about Destiny when she checked you about how you did not know more about her ex-husband being more than just the chicken king. Like, keep in mind though, Kimmi, y'all weren't fooling with Destiny when she first came around. And right here, right now, all Destiny is doing is reacting to the moment she's had with Tisha that has affected her. And you don't want her to express what has affected her. You want her to still be positive. What is to be positive about? That I've had multiple arguments with somebody that I call a friend. Make it make sense. And Kimmi knows it's about Tisha, but she just wants Destiny to like accept it because it's Tisha. Fuck no. Kimmi has been immune and numb to how Tisha tends to overreact and overdoes things for the sake of having a moment. And she just wants Destiny to operate in that same time. I'm not doing that. I'm not on that wavelength. I'm not going to do that. And obviously, Destiny has been biting her tongue and has been just allowing for Tisha to get this off her chest to move forward because she doesn't want to argue with Tisha. And Kimmi is doing way too much to convince her that this is how Tisha does do things. And you know, you and her have a lot of love for one another. But even if they have love for one another, Kimmi, Destiny shouldn't be on guard in her friendship. I shouldn't have to worry if you're going to come at me about something that I'm not understanding. If you're going to come at me about a situation that we've already resolved and you're still mad about it, I don't want to be on guard when I have a friendship with somebody. I don't want to be on guard with that. I don't want to keep on having to defend myself every time you feel a way about something and I don't understand where the fuck it's coming from. So Destiny's looking at it as it's a pattern. It's repeated multiple times. And I'm not going to write this off as, oh, I'll give her grace. Fuck no. Because if Tisha's not going to come out and admit that she got something going on and we're just going to go off on her feelings and don't know what her feelings are, don't have time. That is not how you treat somebody in a friendship. You don't. And if I'm expressing that you have friendship Tourette's where you're going up and down, I don't know where you are at times, that is something you need to self-reflect on. Moving on. Can't stand Kimmi and her bullshit. Oh my God, Ken and Will. Okay, they're at a restaurant and they're sitting at this small ass table. Two big ass men sitting at this small ass table. And I don't know, spring must be in the air because Will had tears running down his eyes, so he must have been allergic to something. And we're going off on a recent trip that Ken just went on. He went to Nashville. He invited Will out there with him, and he noticed that Ken was out with another girl that wasn't Trish. He said, is she new? She's pretty. Yeah, I've known her for about a month. I met her in passing, and the trip was for her birthday. This man is sitting on camera talking about how he met a girl. He's been spending time with this girl. He says she's pretty, she's cool, she's more feminine. She's a traveling nurse. She don't care about her looks. I ain't got to do a lot to make her feel pretty. I feel pretty. He says I'm pretty. So what the fuck is Trish? To say that you don't have to do a lot to make her feel pretty, you don't got to do a lot to make her feel special. So what the fuck is Trish? Has Trish has done that? Trish has expressed to you how you don't make her feel pretty? Trish has expressed how you don't do enough for her? Is that what you're talking about right now? Because Trish is a beautiful woman, Ken. Hence why you reached out to her in her DMs. Is it because she's not a gym buff like Trish, but that's what attracted you in the first place? Is because she's passionate about gym like you are? Like, what are you trying to say? This girl is more soft than Trish? She's more dainty. She's not as strong, or it's not as, like, you know, hard and, you know, tough as nails like Trish. Like, what are you trying to compare it as? What's going on here? Because it sounds to me you want to compare the fact that this woman don't expect much from me, just me being there, and Trish, who I've been trying to prove that I could be there, she's not accepting that, so I'll go here. You're playing games. You're playing fucking games. Like, how are you trying to say you want your relations to be better, and all of a sudden you want to now say I met another woman, and how you are in this situation where you didn't want to embarrass her, but She's been embarrassing you. You've been embarrassing yourself since you've been sticking by her and dealing with her, knowing that you had the ability to fucking go. You have no ties to this woman. It's like you want to be part of this toxic situation and you want to gain attention from it. Because that's what I get from Trish and Kim. They want to present this relationship, but all they want is attention from the show. Okay? Ken ends up talking about he never would go this far with somebody, but to actually parade a woman he's been talking to, it looks like you wanted to go this far. Okay? And you said you didn't feel bad, you didn't care. It's because you wanted somebody to say something. You wanted the ability to get caught. And you want to defend the fact that you didn't care? Yeah, because you playing games. You have threatened to leave multiple times in order for you to get some kind of attention, some kind of reaction from Trish, and it didn't work in your favor. So now what are you going to do? Still drag this lady around until you're getting that reaction from Trish? Because now you're playing on her time as well. Because I don't know what you are building with this woman. If you traveling with her for her birthday, you're bragging about how beautiful she is, but yet you still want to get a reaction out of somebody. You're trying to make it work. Like, what are we doing? This is a bunch of games. This is stupid. This is stupid. I am screaming at my screen right now. You want a reaction out of Trish, you're not going to get it. She does not give a fuck about what it is that you're doing. She don't care that you went out, went outside, got involved with somebody, and now you want her to be like, well, why did you do this? No, take the fucking hint and leave. I feel like Ken don't want to be the guy that gets rejected. He wants to be the guy that has the power to say, I can leave when I want to. There are plenty of women who will want me. Go. Obviously, this girl wants you. Go. Please, the door is that way. I feel like Will had a point about how you want her to show some kind of emotion where you know she's never been the kind of girl to show off any emotion. You know she internalized things differently than another woman. You've known this about Trish since you've been with her. She doesn't showcase her emotions so easily. Do you not know this woman is like a fucking robot? Do you not see how she malfunctions when you gotta put her in a position of being honest with her feelings? She can't do it. She malfunctions. She short circuits. Her face gets tight. She looks down at the ground. Her eyes stay closed too long. What do you mean? And Will was like, you can't keep on setting up moments for her to show this type of emotion when you know that's not who she is. And you've known this about her. And now you're saying you miss all these things you used to do together, but you don't want to go back home and fix it. But you want her to wonder what you've been up to. You want her to chase you down. I cannot do this. This is fucking dumb. This is fucking dumb. Why is Ken here? There is no point of you being here. You're not ready for the kind of commitment that Trish is expecting of you. You want to change her. You want to fix her. You want to be this emotionally available guy and be communicative when you're not communicative right now. You're playing games. You are controlling. I'm done. I'm moving on. Oh my God. The Scotts, they head over to the golf range. There's something that Marcel likes to do, right? He invites Tisha to go along with him. They want to have as much free time as they can. She dropped off her oldest son at orientation day at the college, and she wants him to take advantage of the opportunities. Go try out for a team. Excuse me, she mentions a golf team. And he was like, what do you mean? Well, he used to do golf a lot when he was little. Yeah, because he wanted to make you happy. That doesn't mean he was good at it. No, he's not good at golf. But very happy that her son is excited about this new experience of being in college and all that stuff. Then Tisha talked about Kimmi, how she spoke to Kimmi. Kimmi met up with Destiny, and that according to Kimmi, Destiny was talking crap about her. That's a big word. How did Kimmi bring that information back to you, and why didn't we see a scene of how the information was received? We should have saw that. And again, Tisha want to act like she don't know what's going on. She hasn't done anything. She feels like since we had our talk, we've been moving forward. I have been in a good place with her. This is where the lack of self-awareness and the lack of accountability comes from. You have not been a consistent person, Tisha, where when things are good, you look for a moment to bring up something that bothers you weeks ago, years ago, months ago, where nobody knows where you're coming from, okay? And how you want to talk about how Daphne should be cautious of how she hasn't been a good friend, and how she hasn't shown up, and you've shown up, and all that BS. So now she wants to talk about how Destiny should be cautious of how she has been a good friend to her, and she hasn't shown him as a good friend. And Marceau is like, how are you surprised about her talking about you when you put her in a don't trust that hoe box? How are you surprised? And here she is again. Well, I didn't really say it like that. It was a figure of speech, though. That's not a figure of speech, though, Tisha. You don't jokingly say, I'm going to put her in a don't trust that hoe box out of nothing. There was no reason for you to tell her that. And what makes you think that that was a jokey joke? That was no jokey joke. Then all of a sudden, Marceau want to add on to the fact that Chris is now in a box because he had an argument with Chris that he started about why didn't he inform him about his license being revoked and all that stuff. And even though we were talking about doing business and he never told me about it, this could have happened. We were discussing business. And he said, I don't owe you anything. Like, who the fuck are you? And surprisingly enough, Tisha agrees that Chris did not have the obligation to tell him because y'all don't have nothing signed. Y'all had no business dealing, so he's not obligated to tell you anything. Marceau was not expecting for her to agree with Chris. But it's so funny to me, though, Marceau, you don't ever be on Tisha's side whenever she's in the wrong. You can't wait to bust her bubble and call her out when she's wrong. But that's what you're supposed to do, right? But she can't in ever life. But she can't ever in life call you out when you're in the wrong with the way you handle Chris, because the way you handle Chris was wrong, which is really funny. And like watching these two people literally like accountability, literally not pay attention with the way that they start things with other people. They have added their own opinions and criticism into the mix. They look at how everybody else has come at them. Because now we're discussing Maurice. Maurice has said about Jordan Lane. He pins it on Kimmi because Kimmi was the one who put him up to it. And how he'll motivate me because I'm not working as fast as him. And I'm not working as fast as he wants me to go. And I called him a slimy lawyer. And she's like, why would you call him that? Because he threatened to sue his brother. What good reason, Marceau? He confronted you for a good reason. But the thing about it is, they should have known not to trust you to do anything because you never complete any projects on time. So, watching these two people look as them, they're the victims, and how everyone else starts with them is just crazy as hell. In any shape, form, or fashion, the Scotts have never taken accountability into anything they've said and done towards other people. Never. Tisha wants to pop up on Destiny because she has a listing coming up and she wants to question her about how she's talking about me, how I'm not a good friend or whatever. Marceau tells her, please do not start no shit. You are a representation of our company. You're a PTA mom. Please do not pop off and start some shit. It's going to make us look bad. So I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to come and speak my piece. But if you come at me, I'm going to come at you. Whatever, Tisha. Nobody's afraid of you. So Destiny has prepared a spa day treatment for her and Miss Nell because she's under a lot of stress. She's going to a lymphatic cleanse so they can clean out all of the toxins, and that might make Nell feel a little bit better. I've had one of those. They feel really good. She has been avoiding this kind of place for a minute. Chris has always invited her to come, but she said no. She did it for Destiny. And what I love about this, though, is that any scene that Destiny has with Nell, she's always doing things in mind to bring her some peace, to bring her, into a space where she can be safe with addressing how she feels. Like, Destiny never comes at Nell with combative energy, and Nell has never felt combative energy from Destiny. She always feels like anything that Destiny does, she's coming from a place of love and support, which I love, because Nell needs a friend right now. She really does. So all she doing is discussing how work has been and how she was able to buy some new things for her new boutique store, Poss and Prissy. We know about that's coming up soon. Her grandma called her Prissy growing up. She's very excited, and she's reflecting on how she wishes that her grandma was here to see the store, and how she's had a lot of people pass away. We know she is still dealing with the loss of her mom and all that stuff. And Destiny talks about, ever since we've been developing in our relationship, I have seen you carry someone else's load. Like, you're always taking on someone else's problems. And yes, we have recognized that's what Nell likes to do, and that is not only her fault, but it's the way that she presented for it to be on her, because she cares so much. She has a really, really big heart, and she wants everybody to be good. She wants everyone to be supported and helped, but in return, she's not receiving that She is not receiving the same care and support. People are dropping everything to be there for her. She's not receiving that in return. And then we get on about what's been going on with Destiny. She's been doing great. She's been in her prayer closet, going to therapy. And then we talk about Nell and Tisha meeting up. She said it was a really good conversation. She felt it was genuine. I don't think it was, because all Tisha wants to do is collect allies. All she wants to do is just get into Nell's business and judge and criticize. That's it. But she felt it was genuine with the way that Tisha responded to her at Lance's party about how can she show up for her? How can we be there for you? So she felt it was genuine. Then she brings up Chris meeting up with Marceau. Marceau wanted to talk about Chris's license, how it got revoked, but it went left. Marceau was concerned about why didn't Chris let him know. He thought he was his guy because we were concerned doing business with them. But then Chris was like, who the fuck are you? And then Marceau mentioned how his license for the community. And Nell again, she cannot believe she's defending Marceau, but she got to do it. As far as like how your license for the community, it kind of is. You have a lot of people who look up to you, a lot of people who appreciate your business. You got brokers who have brokerage business that wants to come to you for advice. Destiny being an agent, she always go to Chris for advice. So you do have an obligation to the community. And people have valued your opinions. They have valued your guidance. So I can get that. And yes, she does admit that Marceau could have come at him differently, but she kind of understood what he meant. And how this whole issue that they have doesn't reflect on how her and Letitia are trying to move forward. And you know what? Nell believes that she might be surprised by Tisha. She might not go along with Marceau. She might say her husband was wrong. And that was surprising that she actually did it, because we know Nell will always stand by her husband, but she will let her husband know he was wrong too. Then Destiny brings up Kimmi, how Kimmi had a lot to say about Chris and his license situation, and that she wasn't sure she should reach out to you and comfort you. And it's like, well, if you feel like you're not close enough, then why don't you extend the olive branch and see if you can reach out? But she wanted me to talk to you. She wanted me to open up the conversation. And Nell pretty much called it out. I mean, listen, we don't have that close of a relationship. And yes, if you wanted to question it, then yes, you're not trying to be supportive. You're not trying to be understanding. You want to be all up in my business. So we're going to move on from there. And I do agree with that. Okay, so now we have Marceau. Marceau is bringing out his lawnmower because he wants his older daughter, Macy, to learn how to mow the lawn. Absolutely not. You will not be teaching her that. Teach her how to conduct a service. You know what I'm saying? Teach her how to set up an appointment to have her lawn cut. That's what you should do. And he wants to stop pushing gender roles on his children. He recognized that's not a good idea, so he wants to take a step back. Boy, please. You are not trying to stop pushing gender roles. You're only trying to change how you've been presenting yourself on this show, okay? And knowing that his daughter is getting older, he just wants to know what kind of guys she's interested in. Does she like smart guys, nerds? She don't like lame guys. And, you know, he is just going on about you're about to approach high school. And while you're in the 8th grade, I do not want you dating a high school boy. No. I want you to date guys your own age. And I do recognize what he means, because we have stories, we have experiences of guys dating younger girls. When you're in high school, we have freshmen dating seniors, and then it's vice versa. There's plenty of stories to tell. When you're in high school, you are dating guys that are older than you, where you're now experiencing new things for the first time, and he doesn't want his daughter to go through that. He wants his daughter to date guys that are in her age bracket, where she can understand what it means to be liked by a guy, and don't want you to date older than you should, which I completely get. Okay, I have nothing against that whatsoever. We got Trish and Sharon. They meet up at a sewing club because they love to sew, and she is just talking about what's been going on with her and Kim. They're on a break once again. They're not in the same space, and when they're on a break, they date other people. That is the rule, basically. And she reflecting on the times where when they did take a break and got back together, he did not admit that he was still talking to somebody when they got back together, even though she's asked him multiple times, were you talking to somebody when we got back together? And he said no. But when he asked her, she was honest and truthful. So now when he was asked again, that's when he wanted to finally admit that he has been talking to somebody when they got back together, even though you lied to me the first time. So because you lied about something that shouldn't have been lied about. And it's crazy that Trish is now calling out Ken for lying about something like that when Ken has always said Trish lies about the smallest things. But look at what you just did. Now she cut off communication. She stopped taking his calls for about 2 weeks. If you could have just been honest and told me that you were dealing with somebody, I would have been like, cool. Because you like to have this philosophy that you're such an honest guy, which is true. Ken really tried to present it as if he has been this amazing guy, understanding guy from the beginning, and that Trish was the problem that he needed to fix. Come to find out, both of y'all got problems. Both of y'all are not perfect, Ken. So now they're on a complete official break. Her friend said, you know what? I don't like seeing you be like this. I feel like you've lost your happy. And she feels like, listen, I love him, but I feel like this break is something that we needed to have. But as far as like you guys are constantly saying y'all have built this relationship, then y'all should be able to fix it, right? But you guys are always in a great space, and then when something else happens, you guys are back broken up. And they have been, she also said they have been very disrespectful towards one another. And it's also happened in front of the kids. The kids wanted to be in the middle of that. They've experienced way more than they needed to when it comes down to her and her ex-husband. And while we are on a break, y'all can't keep on testing this relationship. Y'all can't keep on being back together, get together, and seek out other people to fill that void, but then come back together. So she's reflecting about how they both need this break, but y'all can't keep on being in this cycle where you guys are always breaking up, getting back together, breaking up, getting back together. Like, that's too much. She ended up saying that she loves him when she doesn't say it all the time. And you know what? I meant to say this earlier with Ken. Ken, do you not realize all the trauma that Trish has endured before you? She lost her parents. She lost her sibling. Hell, the way that her ex-husband left her. She has been through a lot where she is completely hardened, where certain things that you want her to have a reaction of, she's not going to give it to you so easily. And you're not being patient enough to guide her through this. You're too busy telling her to go ahead and give it to you. Not cool whatsoever. And I have heard that they are broken up officially. Like, they are not together at all. And I don't think they need to. This was a relationship that wasn't salvageable at all. All right. So we are going to move on to get to the final moment of this episode. Let's get into it. All right, y'all. We are at Destiny's open house, and Tisha arrives, and automatically Tisha's on bullshit. She wanted to automatically come in, be on some shady type shit. She wanted to shade Destiny about having her first listing, and also wanted to offer her some champagne. But when she said it's not her first listing, Tisha wanted to be passive aggressive, take back her champagne, try to test and make fun of Destiny like she don't know the difference if she is doing the open house but somebody else is on the first sale sign. Destiny said, well, it wouldn't matter if the person who's on that sign or I'm not on that sign, is whoever gets the closing. And knowing that Destiny has been in the real estate game for over 19 years is something that Tisha should have automatically known, because she used to be Destiny's broker. And this is the issue that I've always had with Tisha. She never likes to be accountable for when she's being shady. She likes to act like she's being funny, but she's being passive aggressive. You know what I'm saying? When she asks questions with a shady connotation, with an ill intent behind it. So a part of Tisha's problem is she never comes direct with what she feels. She just goes around the mulberry bush, be passive aggressive, be subtle, throw digs here and there, and says things that is like, where the hell did that come from? Because when she's trying to talk to Destiny, she's making it seem as if Destiny has had multiple meetings with everybody and is always talking about her, and that's not the case. You want to say she's had secret meetings. She said, I've only had one meeting with Kimmi, and that was to talk about a closing that's coming up, and I had a spot day with Miss Nell. That was very cool. Also, Miss Nell told me y'all had a good conversation. You guys are good. I'm happy to hear that. Tisha want to say, yeah, when I saw her at Lance's party, I recognized how hurt she was. So I figured, let me put my feelings to the side. Once again, like, Tisha is always being the bigger person. And like, she's always being there for somebody else. Like, she's always thinking of them first and not her. That's fucking bullshit. Tisha is selfish, super insensitive, and wants everyone to coddle her about how she's feeling when she can't even fully express how she's feeling. But anyway, just to say that I can, put my feelings to the side. I can be there for her. I can support her. Okay, that's nice to hear. But Destiny can recall telling her the exact same thing. I told you we need to come with a way for you guys to move forward because Nell is going through a lot. Tisha didn't like that anyway because she wanted it to be about her. She wanted her feelings to be the important one. She wanted her reasonings to be the only reason that everyone should be hearing about. She shouldn't like... Yo, Tisha is exhausting. For her to always want to put herself above other people when they're feeling down, she's like, well, what about me? But it's not about you. If Nell is going through something, you shouldn't make somebody choose between you and them. If it's obvious that we see Nell going through something, you can't make it about you as to why nobody's seeing your side. But what is your side? How are people supposed to see your side if you're not explaining what it is that's bothering you? And Destiny didn't have an issue with them working it out, right? But it's kind of like, I'm in a twilight zone. The exact reason you're telling me you want to move forward was what I was trying to tell you to do. I wasn't absolving Nell's behavior. I was trying to get you to understand she's going through a lot. But anything that is not on Tisha's side, she takes it as you're against me. You're not defending me. I don't have time for that. So, I don't know why Tisha wanted to have this be a comparison with when Destiny's not in the room, she defends her. But she has the assumption that when Tisha's not in the room, Destiny don't defend her. And I need examples. When did you ever feel like Destiny didn't defend you? Because I felt like even with you going after Miss Nell, she was trying to appease you more than Miss Nell. And the only thing she can go off of is when the first part of the season, with her feeling some type of way about Nell telling Destiny, I need for Tisha to mind her own business. I need for her to focus on her own shit and stop worrying about mine. Never thought that that was an issue. Never thought that her saying keep her name out of her motherfucking mouth was a problem, because throughout this entire season, Tisha, who have you been talking about the most? Nell and Chris and what they have going on. Like every scene that you're in, you're talking about Nell and Chris. So it isn't explaining how Destiny has never defended you. Make no sense whatsoever. Then she is trying to question Destiny about what she told Kimmi, but instead of Tisha telling her how Kimmi told her, she just saying, you know what you said, and you know what you said hurt my feelings. Okay, but what did she say? What did she say? And Destiny said, listen, if you can't tell me what I said, I'll tell you what I said. I said you have friendship Tourette's, and you do. 1 minute we good, the next minute you mad at me. Where's the lie? There is no lie. Tisha thinks she's trying to call somebody out for being shady, and if you're being shady, I can catch it. Well, ma'am, you don't like it when somebody catches you when you're shady. No. You turn passive aggressive. You turn victim. You act like, oh my God, why are you trying to hurt me? Like, what did I say? I didn't think I said nothing that bad. I didn't say it like that. I was just playing. It's like every time you be shady, you try to excuse it as you being funny. You playing a little jokey joke. No. And then Destiny called her out about how you want all of us to be in a support group. You want us to be empowering each other. But yet you told me you was going to put me in a box where you can't trust me. And you called me a hoe. And you did. Here go Tisha. I didn't call you a hoe. Yes, you did. Well, I didn't mean it like that. But then we're going to discuss how you are talking about me to Kimmi. Like, why are you discussing about me to Kimmi? How are we going to gloss over that you told her you're going to put her in a don't trust that hoe box out of nothing, that no reason was explained as to why you want to put her in that box, and you want to be like, well, let's talk about what you said about me. I don't have time for this. Like, why? It's ridiculous. It is exhausting that when it comes down to you having a problem with somebody else, we're only supposed to look at how you feel, and we're not looking at how you made somebody else feel. I don't have time for this. You want someone to operate of being a loyal friend, but you don't know how to be a loyal friend. And you always are in that space where if you're feeling some type of way about somebody, you want them to follow your rhetoric, follow your feelings. No. I'm not going to be mad and mean to somebody because they said something that you didn't like. Get over it. And how mad she is that Kimmi told her, and she's trying to check her as if Destiny was going to lie in her face, like she didn't say anything. She said, what makes you think I didn't know that Kimmi was going to tell you? Like, I knew she was going to tell you. I had an assumption she's gonna tell you. But what needs to be understood is, how did Kimmi tell this to Tisha? And you know what? It probably wouldn't have taken long for Tisha to look for the opposite, to be mad about it, because she takes everything the opposite way to have a reaction, because she wants to have a reaction. She wants to be mad about something. And then Tisha wants to brag about how she has been a loyal friend. None of my friends have ever said this to me. I wonder why. They probably don't want to deal with this. So they placate to you, they appease you, they recreate you, like they don't want to deal with this shit. And Destiny said, you can be moody. I don't know how you feel at times, and I don't understand why you be coming at me. I don't get it. And that is something you need to work on, because how can you navigate a friendship with somebody and at every turn you get upset about something and we don't understand what it is you're upset about? I'm Stevie Wonder like Destiny. I can't see what's happening right now. You look for an issue every single time when you realize you're not getting the attention you want, and you make it a problem. It's petty and childish. And she is just so mad that she was talking to Kimmi. Like, you're talking to me to Kimmi! But why is that something that you are upset about? Like, you don't talk about other people. Like, didn't you talk about Kimmi to everybody else? Make it make sense. Like, what, the first season? You talked to one of the ex-wives of the Scotts about how Kimmi got involved with Maurice. You called her trifling. You added on to the conversation about Kimmi being a side chick. Make that make sense. You kept talking about Melly and Martell's situation. I want her to rest in peace, y'all. But you've made plenty of comments about your own cousin. And then you also accused Stormy of popping pills that you were never accountable for. Keep in mind, Tisha, you have spoken a lot of shit about a lot of people. The minute somebody mentions you about your relationship, you cry victim. You feel like you trying to ruin my marriage. You try to hurt me. They don't want to see me happy. It's like, girl, please. Please, please, please miss me. And then when it comes down to discussing moments where she doesn't believe that Destiny has defended her, it don't make fucking sense. I don't know if I said that or not. I can't remember. And they go back and forth, and how she's never spoken about Destiny to any of the ladies. She never mentioned her mugshot when it got revealed. You've been waiting to throw that out there. That has been something you've been hiding in your back pocket, and you waited for a moment to throw that in her face. First it's the whole comment, now it's the mugshot. And it's something that shouldn't have been this fucking deep. And this is how Tisha operates. She plays a victim. She don't like being called out on things she has said and done. And every time you call her out, she's saying, I'm just being funny. I'm just joking. I didn't mean it that way. I wasn't trying to be, serious. Well, Tisha, please. You can't be playful like that. Because if we be playful in your shit, you be like, that's not right. That's not what a friend does. Bullshit. Then she wants to say, you haven't been a good friend to me in 6 months. Who counts like that? Destiny said, neither have you. And you want to have a list of pros and cons? Like, how old are we? Then Destiny reveals that when your cousin just died, I was on the phone with you. I made it to your house before you got there. And she just dismisses it and says, oh, that was last year. Okay, bitch. So that's not enough to show that I've been a good friend to you. If I was there for you when your closest family member died. Somebody who you did not clear things up before she passed away. Somebody who you have intentionally hurt. And I was there for you. Okay. Then I love it when Destiny called it out about whenever Tisha go to war with other people, she wants other people to follow her. Like, I'm not going to get in war with the folks you're not cool with, because you are creating problems with everybody that you see. And it's just not working. Like, I don't understand Tisha. She really wanted to push Destiny over the edge for her to just be sorry. But what's she being sorry for? For being honest about her feelings? Being honest about her experience in this friendship with you? Hell no, I'm not going to do that. And you know what? She gets up like she always does. Destiny was like, it's just too much work. And here go Tisha. It's too much work! Oh my God! It's too much work! Of all I've done for you, of all I've shown up for you, I've had to drop a lot of things to be your friend. What have you had to drop? What have you had to do to be Destiny's friend? Because it sounds to me, you really wasn't interested in being Destiny's friend. You only wanted to be cool with Destiny is because she had insight and information you wanted about Mel. That's it, that's all. I knew that Tisha was going to overdo, act like she is a really, really good friend to Destiny because it appeases her to look like she's a really, really good friend. But in the end, she is going to discard Destiny as soon as she has no use of her. And this is exactly what I'm seeing right now. She has no use of Destiny anymore. You're not valuable to me no more. I can't get what I want out of you anymore. That's it, that's all. But that's not how you treat friends. So she takes her champagne, she walks away, and then Tisha says, when we weren't filming, I was there for your ass. Look at your text messages. And Destiny's like, I don't do the same thing. Like when people come at me about how you stupid and all this kind of stuff, and I tell them how intelligent that you are, I'm always defending you. You need to stop with this bullshit and victimization. And that is a fact though. Tisha never recognizes how she be at fault with all the shit she starts. And she wants everyone to just placate to her feelings. And then when Destiny walks back to the house, she said miserable ass. And she is in fact miserable. She is. Because she's not receiving what she wants to receive in her own relationship. She's mad at the wrong people. Wrong people. She's mad at how her husband has never put her in a proper space of being secured and protected when other people are coming at her. Her mom has never raised her to be independent, to be confident in her own skin without putting her in that competitive mindset that everyone's just coming at her because they're jealous of her. It's just crazy to me. Crazy, crazy, crazy. And I applaud Destiny for speaking her truth, because this is exactly how folks have been dealing with Tisha for years, and for some odd reason nobody wanted to see it. Everyone to say, oh no, that's not how she is, she's a sweetheart, she's a fun girl, she's the favorite. I don't know where they got that from, but this is proof. Being a friend to Tisha is too much work. Why do I have to be on guard, and why do I have to keep up with making sure your feelings are always, understood, when you don't want to understand nobody else's feelings? You don't want to understand nobody else's situation. You want everyone to understand your situation, what you got going on. And that's another thing. You want to be protected with what you don't want to deal with. And you want everyone to just move accordingly by not keeping you accountable and transparent about what you got going on. But you want to be on that same rah-rah interrogation type shit to other people. You want to be interrogating them, constantly be on them about what they have going on, and you want them to be honest and detailed about what they have going on, but you're not going to do the same thing. Not cool, not cool. But you know what? Y'all, that's it. That's all I have. This is just a telltale sign that the things that Tisha is trying to project and deflect on other people, she really needs to look in the mirror and realize she's doing it to herself. That nobody is going to take over her problems. Nobody is going to figure out her problems until she figures them out herself. But please stay tuned for the next video. I'm see you guys later. Bye.